Hi guys, I'm NateDontFly, and welcome to Afterthought. This is a new series I will be doing that addresses points either missed or I didn't cover enough in a theory from the week prior. I'm human, I make mistakes, and miss things, and I'll own up to them. Today we'll be discussing my Dr. Maheswaran is a gem hybrid theory. Before we start, all the people who say that this theory is going to be busted wide open if Lars and Steven fuse and ask, what then? Well then, my theory, which is basically a speculation to explain a certain detail, is going to be busted. And you know what? I'll move on with my day, my week, my life for that matter. Theories are busted all the time, and it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna rage out because I was wrong. I'll be like, oh, okay, good try though, me. Yeah, I just high-fived myself. Also, I'm not gonna start saying that Lars is a gem hybrid as well, because honestly, I have no evidence to show that, and I wouldn't make stuff up just to keep my theory alive. Okay, I want to start off by restating the fact that I indeed believe this is a stretch. I even said so in the original video. Basing everything off of a silhouette? Yeah, that's a huge stretch. Also, a lot of people are saying that the answer was all just in Steven's head, and similar to a dream, the gems seen in the background are based off of people he's seen in reality. But in Same Old World, when Lapis shows Steven her memories of being put into the mirror, these gems make an appearance again. This means that it wasn't Steven's subconscious actually creating these gems, but it was Garnet's memories. Also, people saying that Steven can only fuse with Connie because he's half human, that in itself is a theory made by the gems. They only think it's because Steven is half human. They don't know for sure. I am going to have to agree with everyone who says that Priyanka is probably a descendant of this gem, since the events of the answer occurred 5,000 plus years ago and not an actual 50-50 gem-human hybrid. So there were probably several generations of hybrids before Priyanka and Connie were born, or perhaps not. That being said, we don't know how gem hybrids are affected by the corruption song, because that hasn't really come up. So if this gem had given birth to Priyanka's ancestor before the corruption on Earth occurred, who knows what effect it would have on it. It could have no effect like the destabilizer. And we already know that gem hybrids take longer to mature, based on Steven. So what if this first gem human hybrid took a long time to mature, and as a result she becomes Priyanka's mother, which makes Priyanka 25% gem, and then Connie is respectively 12.5% gem. Now, my genetics analogy. Though the concept I was explaining was correct, using cats probably wasn't the best idea because there are so many underlying genes that coincide with fur color that codominance doesn't effectively describe it. It would have been better to use flower petal color. It did dawn on me that I was stupidly looking at having a gem as a gene, when in reality, these are two different species. So instead of codominance, we would be looking at hybridization. So though the percentages are correct, it'd be better to look at this like a cross between a 100% golden retriever and a 100% poodle, then this 50-50 golden doodle with a 100% golden retriever. Now, for everyone who says that gem hybrids would have to give up their gems to let their offspring survive, probably not. The reason Rose had to give up her gem for Steven was most likely due to the fact that she had to shapeshift a womb for him to incubate in. Because she didn't have the actual reproductive organs to give Steven the nutrients he needed, she used her gem to supply these nutrients to him. Due to this, to have him survive, she had to give him her gem. Now, a human gem hybrid already has these human reproductive organs, and doesn't have to use their gem to provide the nutrients needed for this. They most likely don't need to pass down their gem. This being said, we've never seen what happens with the child of a hybrid, so honestly, anything can happen. Speaking of gems, I want to bring up the idea that Dr. Maheswaran covered her gem. A lot of people brought up the episode 3 Gems and a Baby and how Steven had to let his gem breathe. However, this was only a one-time thing. Look at Steven now, constantly covering his gem with his shirt. So it would make complete sense that Dr. Maheswaran would be able to cover it constantly as well. Honestly, I don't have a real answer for why, if Priyanka had a gem, she wouldn't ask the gems about it. My only thought on the matter is that depending on if she was a first generation hybrid or not, she would have been told to avoid other gems for her safety. I don't want to be blunt, but I'm going to be. People who think that Connie got gem DNA and the ability to fuse by drinking Steven's backwash? That's literally impossible. Anyway, if our DNA was altered every time we exchanged bodily fluids, then every time you kiss someone, we would change our DNA, which is not what happened. The only real way for an individual to gain new DNA is if they have an organ transplant. No transplant occurred. It was similar to taking medicine. Connie was simply healed. I got a lot of comments saying that gems can't have DNA because they are rocks and light-based life forms. In reality, this is true, except if they want to have a child. To have a child in fertilization, it must gain half of its DNA from its mother and half of its DNA from its father. This occurs through the combination of the haploid sex cells of the father and mother into a diploid cell. A human has 46 chromosomes, or 23 pairs. In the most basic terms, we get 23 from our father and 23 from our mother. Chromosomes are tightly bound DNA, if you needed to know that. So even though Steven is half gem, the fact that he has been told at times that he both sounds and looks like Rose means that Rose's genes were passed down to him. Honestly though, there is a lot of pseudoscience here since it is a cartoon, but in real life, if Steven is able to be alive in general with no problems, he must have gained DNA from both his parents. Well, there's my explanations behind some of the things left out in my Dr. Maheswaran gem hybrid theory. I've learned something from this. Don't write 5 theories in a row at 2 AM because I'm bound to forget something. Honestly, all of the hate comments don't faze me. It fuels my fire to continue making videos, but I still want to say thank you to the people who defend me in the comments. Like, you guys are new and you barely know me, but you're already there for me? Like, that's crazy to think about. Also, thank you so much for 2,000. I hit 1,000 like less than a week ago, and it's blowing my mind that people actually enjoy my content. I'll have the Q&A out soon, but if you want to still ask questions, just leave them in the comments below because I am still taking questions. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you want to hear more Steven Universe theories and news, and follow me on my social medias. My handles are on the screen now, but there are also links down below. And until next time, I'll catch you later.